When it comes to real-world data, there is no better project than Chainlink, specifically when we start thinking about oracles and bringing that real-world data on-chain. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the technical analysis on Chainlink, sharing my thoughts and opinions as to where I think the price action is heading in 2025. As I get into today's video, if you do find it useful and informative, smash that like button. If you are new to the channel, subscribe, and let's take a look at what's going on with Chainlink. So Chainlink here paired up with USDT. And we are on the one-day Binance chart. Now, this is a very interesting position that Chainlink is in today at the point of recording today's video. There's still the potential for higher moves towards 200 daily EMA. However, minimum expectations on this upward move have already been met. Okay, so our minimum expectations were to come up to 1156. Okay, now, obviously, depending on when you're watching this video, various different things could have unfolded. But as you can kind of see here, this was our minimum expectations. Now, we already met minimum expectation on the 20th of September. Okay, on Friday we pushed up here and we got into a high coming in at $11.74. Since then we have found support and retested for support on the 50-day EMA, and at the point of recording today's video we had a bit of a negative day so far. Now the potential for Chainlink in the kind of smaller time frames, okay, and I'm going to talk smaller time frames because we are talking 2025 longer term, is to retest the 200 EMA. That's 1283 to 1351. I'll just draw a little box on here just so you get an idea as to kind of what that looks like. Right inside there. Okay, so that there basically becomes a kind of three-wave structure to finish off this move, and it look like this. That's also a part of a much bigger play, which will gain minimum expectations on the bigger play would be here at $12.70. Okay, and that will be the structure for this move here. Now, this one is a wild card long shot, not something I would be expecting, but 1460 to 1625 on the kind of medium time frame, and I'll put a little yellow box right here. Okay, now obviously we're talking about what are the price actions going in 2025. In order for us to truly understand that, we need to first of all analyze whether or not we have bigger bullish breakouts above the 200 EMA, or whether or not we are still in a bit more of a corrective phase for Chainlink's price action. Personally, I think our minimum expectations are going to get met and we're going to get rejection on that 200 EMA, and we're going to end up with a three-wave pattern that looks like this. Okay, that's going to be my take on it. Now, as we kind of remove all of this off the chart so we don't have all that clutter, we zoom out of this just a little bit. There is this yellow box just down here. This yellow box area is an area that I kind of call a bit of a reaccumulation zone. Okay, this box is coming in between $5.80, so $5.80 and $10.92. Okay, so essentially $5 to $10.92. This is the reaccumulation zone. We obviously did snipe out this little entry, which, if anyone was aware, we were tracking the idea of 768 to 874. This obviously came in quite nicely on the 5th of August. We tapped into that range and we got a nice run to the upside since then. And speaking of trading, we've got some fantastic offers and exclusive bonuses for the cheeky crypto community, courtesy of the Blowfin exchange. As you can kind of see here, the whale campaign 2.0 is now in full swing. So on top of the usual kind of benefits that you get of getting up to $10,000 of deposit and trade rewards, depending on how much you deposit and obviously trade on the platform, they're also now giving you the opportunity to get your hands on a Model 3. There are several different prizes up for grabs from Blowfin just for signing up using the link in the description down below and trading and basically depositing and trading on the platform. It's quite straightforward. So if you're a trader, this is a fantastic opportunity not to be missed out on. As you can kind of see here, we have the Apple Watch SE. This is for trading volume above 3 million, which sounds a lot more or sounds a lot more difficult than it actually is. The volume is take a volume, which is only considered. The rewards will be sent within 2 days after the end of the event. Prizes will be distributed in equivalent USDT after the event ends. Each user can only get the reward once based on the highest trading volume during the activity period. 10% cashback, the amount transferred into the futures account minus the amount transferred out of the futures account. Obviously 10% of that. And you have the bonuses as well on there. So some fantastic fantastic things. As you can kind of see here, as we go up to 15 million in trading volume, you get the 𝗕𝗘𝗪𝗔𝗥𝗘. You then obviously get a camera here, the Canon EOS R5 at 25 million volume. 50 million will get you a travel fund of $5,000. If you're into your bikes, a Kawasaki Ninja 650. This is for a trading volume above 100 million, and of course the Tesla Model 3 with 300 million in trading volume. So this is a fantastic opportunity to take advantage of everything that this has to offer. So this runs until October the 4th. Why don't you go ahead and check the link in the description down below and sign up to Blowfin and start actively trading and start bagging yourself some of these fantastic deals. Okay, so this was a great trading opportunity or dollar cost averaging opportunity with a 57.18% move for Chainlink. We called off, and that calling off is still a bearish one in my opinion. So like I said, minimum expectations have been met. The idea of the 200 EMA is a nice one, but there's this big kind of issue that we have, which is that maybe we are looking for a correction to come back down and retest this low. Now, if I zoom out of this and we can't start taking into consideration everything that's going on with Chainlink, we have a great reversal from our lows of June 2023. That was $4.76. That looks like a solid low that's not likely to get lost. Okay, the reaccumulation is after a fantastic run since then. Okay, so basically we have a bear market low coming in at 476, and we have a run upwards here of 380%. It's great move to the upside. But during that move to the upside, you see a lot of people taking their profits off the table, and then you see the reaccumulation. This reaccumulation isn't just randomly drawn on. This area is a 50 to 88.2% of that entire 380% move. And that is really key, because when we start talking about the Fibonacci levels, that is a key area that we want to be understanding. Now, at the moment, we're not inside the range, we're just above it. But I do suspect that we are going to come back down and we're going to see more accumulation. Now, this is important because in order for us to predict out how high things are going to go in 2025, we need to first of all figure out how low we're going to go into our accumulation zone. Okay, so taking a look at our structure here, we can see that although we're getting a bit of a relief rally, the worst is not yet over, and we could see even better prices for Chainlink. Now, taking a look at this, we can see that we have come down deeper than the 1.236, heading towards the 1.382. Now, in terms of Fibonacci sequencing levels, this is really important. Anything lower than 1.236 in this particular structure, okay, it tells us that we should be expecting a relief rally and then a further move to the downside. I'm going to put the relief rally up with that previous high that we had just here, okay? That's going to come in at $12.70. So I'm going to go ahead and put that right there on the $12.70 level, like so. That shows that we should be thinking about price action coming down to the lower end of our accumulation zone, potentially a little bit lower, but we can see here we have a very broad ranged target. Okay, and I'm going to go ahead and draw that in as a big yellow box. We are looking between $9.12, okay, so $9.12 is going to be the upper area that we are looking for. Okay, and then we have the lower range coming in at $5.60. I'm going to remove the fibs so we don't have that cluttering up the chart. So this range right here is where our kind of next big kind of opportunity lies, in my opinion. Now, our momentum here on the 1 hour, 1 day time frame shows that we are in an overbought area. The last time that we were overbought on Chainlink was the 14th of September. The time before that was the 24th of August. The time before that was actually a couple, 16th of July and the 21st of July. Above that was the 2nd of July. Now, if we bring the price action in line with our stochastic RSIs, we can see that there was a downturn in the market here on the 13th of July. There was a downturn in the market up here on when we started to see this up in that higher range on the 25th of July. We can see that the last time that we were up here as well, on the 21st of July, we saw a big downturn in the market. At the time before that, up here, we saw another turn in the market around the 2nd of July. And the time before that, when we were here up in the 29th of May. We are up in very similar areas. Now, we are in lower highs and lower lows on the daily time frame, and our stochastic RSI is back to where it was when we started to see these big drops in the market. Therefore, the opportunity is there and it is real, and we are looking for a bigger move to the downside into this range between $9.12 and the $5.60. Okay, so that's kind of what we're looking for, and that's going to be our kind of expectation to finish off this reaccumulation phase for Link. After this, of course, we're going to be looking for a bit of a run to the upside. So how high do we think Chainlink is going to go? Well, again, we're going to draw in the fib charts here. If I can snap that to the high that we have, here we go, and snap it to the low down here, grab it to the right wick, there we go. Okay, now I think we're going to be looking for some really interesting ranges when it comes to this next drop in the market. I'm going to be conservative here. The lower that I put the fib charts, the lower that our price expectations are going to be. So I'm going to put the fibs right down on the low side at the $5.60 level so that we can be really kind of conservative about our targeted ranges. Okay, so to start with, we're going to be looking at this range to be an interesting range of potential resistance. And if I pull this across here, you can see that this is a very interesting area. Not only is it the Fibonacci 1 to 1.236, it's also a previous area that we saw rejection on back here in 2021. Okay, so $26.91 to $38.97. Now, looking at our structure, okay, and assuming that the worst situation, this is where we're going to be looking. But there's the potential for that 1.618. The importance of 1.618 cannot be understated in any way, shape, or form. Okay, we are looking for $70.96. Okay, that there is going to be a 1.618 target impulsive level. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and remove the Fibonacci charts off there. Okay, so straight off the bat, we know that this is going to be our 1-to-1. Okay, so it's going to look something like this with the idea of coming up into there. Okay, and the potential for the 1.618, which I think is a real possibility, is going to be our impulsive breakout. And that is why this yellow box area down here, that 50 to 88.2% is critically important, because as long as price doesn't go down lower than 88.2, then typically this is a wave 2. And that means that we have a wave 1, a wave 2, 1.618, small retracement, another run to the upside. And therefore, we can be looking at a 5-wave move and a 5-wave breakout for Chainlink. Now, Chainlink is even stronger today than it has been in previous cycles. There's so many more integrations, the real-world tokenization of real-world assets, RWAs. It requires on-chain or requires real-world data on-chain, and that's going to mean more reliance on oracles. And Chainlink is the leading Oracle provider. So I think there's going to be even more demand coming in for the Link token. So Chainlink also has staking now, which it didn't have in the previous bullish market. We are going to see a lot of reasons to see the supply shrink and the demand to grow. And as such, I think we're going to see some very, 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 very bullish breakouts on Chainlink. I could be wrong, of course, but these are just my expectations on what I think is going on. And so for Chainlink here, we can see some real good moves. Now, do we think we're going to repeat everything that we saw in the previous market from the low of what we saw back in January of 2019 upwards here was a 14,000% move? I don't think we're going to do 14,000%. Something to that effect would put Chainlink's price at around $700. I think we can be looking at a good $250, I think, in the bullish market, which means the lower that this goes, the better opportunity it lies. I think we're going to see some really, really good gains. It's not going to necessarily be the kind of the biggest one that's going to give you 100,000% gains and things like that. But I do think just retesting its previous all-time high is going to 10x. We could quite easily see, in my opinion, a 20x position here, and maybe even navigating upwards towards those higher positions where we could see maybe even 30 to 40x on Chainlink. These are numbers that I think are realistic for the potential of the Chainlink project. So there's a lot going on. There's a lot of things to consider. But Chainlink definitely does stand out from the crowd, as everything that's going on in terms of RWAs, real world asset tokenization, the ETFs, all these things, and the integration that Chainlink has, not just in the Web3 space, but also in the Web2 space. There's so much going on with Chainlink that I think it really does put it at a really good position in the market for some great moves next year. What do you think? Let me know in the comments down below, or join us in our free Discord server. Where do you sit with Chainlink? Is it a part of your portfolio? Are you looking to add it to your portfolio? Let me know. And if you haven't done so already, guys, check this video out right here. It's not one you're going to want to miss.